Once upon a time, in a lovely house with bright yellow walls and colorful pictures, there lived a little pig named Pepa. One morning she woke up in her soft bed with a flowery blanket. The sun was shining through the window, lighting up her whole room. Pepa jumped up happily and ran downstairs. In the living room, the carpet on the floor was soft and green and covered in fun patterns. In the kitchen, Mummy Pig was cooking breakfast. She wore a blue apron, and the smell of pancakes filled the air. Pepa sat at the wooden table. On the table was a big book of letters. It was brand new and had shiny gold edges. At the corner of the room, Daddy Pig sat in his favorite chair. He wore his round glasses and was reading a newspaper. When he saw Pepa, he took off his glasses and said, "Good morning, Pepa. Are you ready to learn?" Pepa nodded excitedly. Daddy Pig put his glasses back on and said, "Today we're going to learn the alphabet. Pepa, can you say alphabet?" "Alphabet," said Pepa, her pink cheeks glowing with excitement. From the corner, a small voice shouted, "G-R." It was Pepa's little brother, George. He was a small piglet, and he wore a blue shirt. He was playing with his favorite dinosaur on the living room floor. Pepa giggled and opened the book to the first page. On the first page was the letter A. Underneath the letter was a colorful picture of an apple. "A is for apple," said Pepa. Outside the window, Pepa could see her garden. It was green and full of bright flowers. A tall tree stood in the middle, and birds sang sweetly from its branches. "That's right, Pepa," said Daddy Pig. "A is for apple." Then Pepa turned the page. On the next page was the letter B. Underneath the letter was a picture of a blue ball in the grass. "B is for ball," said Pepa. George ran to the table. He was holding his toy ball. "B is for ball," shouted George. Everyone laughed. The day went by quickly. Pepa and her family stepped outside into the yard. In the yard stood a big wooden table under a canopy. The sun shone brightly, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves on the trees around the house. "Now let's practice some more," said Daddy Pig. Pepa grabbed some chalk and wrote the letter C on a board. Beside the board, there was a black crow sitting on a branch in the garden. The crow cawed loudly. "C is for crow," said Pepa. George clapped his hands. "Grr, crow," he repeated. When it started to get dark, Pepa's family gathered in the living room again. In the corner, a fireplace glowed warmly. On the wall, happy family photos added splashes of color to the dark wood paneling. Pepa reached the letter D. On the page, there was a picture of a brown dog walking on a path. "D is for dog," said Pepa. "Well done, Pepa," said Daddy Pig. Outside, the stars twinkled in the night sky. The moon shone brightly, bathing the garden in soft silver light. Pepa continued reading. "E is for egg," she said, pointing at the picture of an egg. Daddy Pig smiled and said, "Well done, Pepa." As the evening went on, Pepa learned more letters. When bedtime came, Pepa snuggled into her bed. Her room was dark, but the glow of the moon made the colorful pictures on the walls seem to sparkle. Pepa looked at the alphabet book. Now she knew all the letters from A to F. "I love learning," she whispered. "Tomorrow I'll learn even more letters. I want to know all the letters in the alphabet." The moon glowed through the window, promising a new day. and Peppa dreamed of all the letters and words she would discover.